YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Cray, and in today's video, I wanted to bring you all the ultimate beginner's guide for arenas in Apex Legends. Okay, quick disclaimer: you guys know I'm all about the authenticity, so I do not really have a script. So I will be winging some things here and there. So you might hear me stutter, you might hear me stumble over thoughts here and there, but again, I'm going to try to make things flow as much as possible, and I'm going to cut out some of the excessiveness whenever I need to. Okay, so you guys know me, I skip all the theatrics in the intro. The only thing I ask is that if this guide is helpful, do me the biggest favor in the world, slap that sub button, drop a like on it. I would appreciate it so much. And without further ado, let's get this guide underway. The first thing I want to tap on is I want to talk about what is arenas. Okay, I'm going to touch on this real briefly because if you guys are watching this video, you have an idea of what arenas is, but want to cross my T's and dot my I's here. Okay, so arenas is the new permanent game mode in Apex Legends that released here in Season 9. Okay, I like to call it a 3v3 skirmish. That means it's not the BR or anything of that nature. It's you and your two homies versus 3 enemies. You guys are going head to head on one of the 3 current maps in the game. And of course, they'll be releasing new maps as time goes on. But as of right now, there's 3 maps. Artillery, which is actually a POI, almost forgot that word, on Kings Canyon. Phase Runner, which is actually not a POI on any of the 3 Apex Legends maps. It's a pretty dope map. And then you also have Party Crasher, which is the Mirage Voyage crashing on Olympus. Now, as of right now, there is no objective other than destroy the opposition. Okay, I do believe in the future they may add an objective like as an LTM and may experiment with adding a permanent objective in to the primary game mode. I'm not sure, that's just what I speculate, and that's what a lot of the community speculates as well. I mean, Shrouded even went ahead and said it on his stream when he first played the arenas game mode. He thinks the mode is awesome, but he feels like it needs an objective, and I agree. Okay, getting off keel here. Let me go ahead and bring things back. So again, 3v3, no respawns. Okay, you can get knocked and be revived, but if you are completely eliminated, you are done until the next round. All right, in order to win an arenas match, you need to win at least 3 rounds and be ahead of the opposition by 2 points. Okay, so for example, you can 3-0 the opposition, you can 3-1 the opposition, but you can't 3-2 the opposition. What will happen is you guys will go into a little bit of an overtime and you have to win that game 4-2. Okay, now if you guys keep going back and forth, if you guys make it to round 9, that is the sudden death round. Okay, there can be no more win by 2 at that point. That is when you have won 4 and the opposition has won 4. One final round to go ahead and to go at it to see who will end up being victorious. Now, another thing that separates arenas from everything else, right, from the BR and all that stuff, is there's actually an economy system. Some of people that have played games like Valorant, CSGO, Rogue Company, games of that nature, you guys will be pretty familiar with this. My people that have not, let's stay tuned right here. So talking about the economy system, okay, everything has to be purchased. You will start your first round off with 550 points, tokens, whatever you want to reference them as, okay? And of course, you have to go ahead and purchase abilities, grenades, heals, weaponry, you name it, okay? Now, if you don't purchase any weapons, you will automatically spawn with a Mozambique and with a P2020, okay? And you will automatically spawn with 2 shield cells and 2 syringes, and then the armor that you're given for that round, all right? And just a heads up too, your weapons will not carry over to the next round. So when you guys win that round, don't think you get to carry that Peacekeeper, that Vault, whatever over to the next round. Every single round, you have to go ahead and repurchase your weaponry or your heals, so on and so forth. The only thing that does carry over is your ultimate ability. If you purchase an ultimate ability and you do not utilize it in that round, it will actually carry over to the following round, which is actually pretty cool. If you continue to click on a weapon, you will realize down below the weapon, it says upgrade for a certain amount of currency. You can actually continue upgrading a weapon. Of course, the first upgrade is white, then blue, then purple, of course, to max out that weapon. You can also change the sights accordingly to the color scheme. So if you upgrade something to blue, you might be able to change that sight to like a 2x or a 1x2, and then you can also utilize a regular 1x classic, 1x hollow, things of that nature. Now, some of you guys might be asking, Cray, how do I accumulate currency? Okay, first and foremost, kills. Every kill gives you 75 currency. All right, around the map, there are also a few material canisters. Okay, there's typically 2 on, I'm trying to think, Party Crasher. I want to say there's 2 on Artillery, and then I want to say there are 4 on Phase Runner. Yes, there's 2 per location on Phase Runner as well, so you can really cash out on Phase Runner. It's crazy. It's crazy. So each canister gives you 200 bonus material that will carry on to the next round on top of your kills, on top of your round bonus as well, depending on if you win or if you lost that round. So there does need to be some strategy in place around trying to capture canisters in the middle of the gunfight as well. Now, as we move on here, it is time for us to dive into the learning portion. This is where I might get a little bit rambly, so I will make sure everything is time-stamped right down below, okay? The first thing in this game mode we have to learn is the economy system, what I just referenced in the prior portion, okay? We have to learn our economy. Now, I will say this is more so experience-based. I would say you literally have to just play this game mode and figure this out, okay, first and foremost. So just to kind of let you guys into my mind, typically in that first round, I always grab something along the lines of the alternator. Why? Because it's cheap and it's efficient. After I buy the alternator, I know for a fact I can expend the rest of my currency on a healing item, which typically I grab a battery in that regard. I almost said that expense, what the heck. In that regard, I typically grab a battery. That's my 550. I'm cashed out. I'm good, right? If I know for a fact that I need to play a little bit more of a support role, and I'll talk about roles at a later time in this video, of course, stay tuned. If I'm playing a little bit more of a support role, then I might grab something like a 30-30 repeater or a G7 scout. And when I do that, then of course that allows me to have a little bit more money because I believe they both run 350 just off the top of my head. So I can typically grab a bat and a medikit in that regard as well. Now, in this first round, I also have to play the map as well because again, I don't have that many heals, right? I might have a battery, might have a medikit, then 2 cells and 2 syringes. So I have to play accordingly and my team has to play accordingly as well. And again, I will talk about this stuff a little bit more in the near future. But a little quick heads up, there are actually little pill containers around the map that you can get heals out of. It usually drops a Phoenix kit, 2 bats, and a medikit. So sometimes if my teammates are occupied drawing aggro and drawing fire, then I might drop down, hit that pill, grab those heals, and disperse them accordingly to my teammates and of course to myself because I gotta stay healthy too. You know what I'm saying? Now, as we talk about those later rounds, rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and sometimes even 9, how you prioritize things. At least this is how I prioritize things, okay? I typically will always max out a weapon. Well, not max out, okay? I typically will always upgrade a weapon to white or blue, okay? Sometimes I don't really see the necessary reason, or excuse me, I don't see a necessary reason to max out a weapon just because like getting 2 to 3 extra shots in a mag doesn't really affect me that much in this game mode because I can, you know, a lot of times I'm jiggle peeking, I'm holding a corner, things of that nature, laying suppressive fire, laying gunfire on somebody. So it's easy for me to just go back behind cover, reload, rinse and repeat. You guys feel what I'm saying? So I don't really worry about upgrading my weapon all the way up to purple. Typically I do blue. Okay, and again, as the rounds go on, then I will upgrade accordingly. But kind of what I do, at least in rounds 2 through 4, is I'll get 1 primary and I'll slightly upgrade that secondary, which typically by default is the P2020 or the Mozambique. So I'll run something along the lines of an alternator, or if I really got the cash, I'll go R9. I'm not really a big vault player. I actually kind of suck with it. TLDR, I actually suck a lot with the vault for some reason. Don't know why, but I just do. I will typically go R9. If I know I'm fighting more mid-long range, then I'll go ahead and go R301. That's a pretty penny though, I will openly admit. So if I cash out on the R301, I know for a fact we got to rotate, hit those pills and get some of those heals because I won't have enough money to allocate really towards heals because again, I'm getting that R301. I'm slightly upgrading my Mozambique for close quarters combat. And after, you know, I empty the clip on somebody with the R3, switch to that Mosey, pow, pow, pow. Man, it's underrated in Season 9. It is underrated. But anywho, that's typically how I brainstorm that scenario. Now, as you get into rounds 7, 8, and 9, typically by that point, you have so much money, you can go ahead and double up, right? So in that case, I might grab an R301 and then I grab an Eva. I love the Eva. I'm an Eva player. I try the Peacekeeper. I try to be too flashy with it. I get put in the dirt. So I don't touch the Peacekeeper unless I know I'm playing against Lil Timmy and Lil Johnny. Then, then I'm going to go ahead and grab the Peacekeeper and have a little bit of fun. But typically, if I'm sweating it out, I'm grabbing the Eva because that is my most consistent shotgun to this day. So I'll go something along the lines of R301 to blue, Eva to blue, spend the rest on heals or spend the rest on abilities. Whatever the case may be, that's how I flow. Again, you have to experiment, you have to experience, and you have to learn your flow. I hope that was helpful. If not, let me know down in the comments and I can just make a whole video talking about economy prioritization, because actually, as a matter of fact, I might do that anyway. But anywho, let's go ahead and keep this show rolling. Oh, real quick before I go ahead and move on, talking about economy, because I talked about weapons and I talked about heals. One thing that we have to discuss real quick is ability usage. Okay, now I say you have to kind of learn off of the opposition. Okay, and that's based off of the first round. I don't buy any abilities the first round unless I'm running Lifeline and I get her care package, but typically I don't, because I want to see how much is the opposition going to make me use those abilities, right? And I'll say, using Pathfinder for example, how much am I going to have to grapple, right? If I'm facing a bunch, again, of little Timmys, little Jimmys, little Ronnies, if I'm playing against a team like that and they don't know left from right, I'm not going to prioritize buying more grapples or buying my zip line. Like, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to spend that more, or excuse me, stumbled. I'm going to spend that money on heals, on weapon upgrades, things of that nature. Now, if I'm playing against a team that they are flanking, they got goated comms, they're everywhere on the map, I might have to prioritize getting that zip line, right? Just to get us out of a sticky situation. You know what I'm saying? Or I might have to buy a couple extra grapples because they're going to make me reposition a ton. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that's more so based off of the opposition. Your heals and your weapons should be pretty much standard across the board, and depending upon your play style and your team strategy, but your abilities should be more so based off of the opposition. Moving on here a little bit, I say the next thing you have to learn, and I touched on this a lot in my Apex Legends for Beginners guide. If you have not watched that, make sure you check this out following that video. Is this: you have to learn your role. You have to know who you are as a player, and you have to embrace that. Okay, I know for a fact I am not a 20 kill 4K damage guy every day, right? I'm not that on any day, actually. I will be completely transparent with you all. I do have my games where I get busy a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I fly teams, catch them on the flank, get some knocks, yada yada yada, get a couple of 10 to 12 kill games, whatever. But oh my gosh, that is so far and few between in terms of days. Like, I haven't had a day like that in like 2 weeks. I'll be completely honest and transparent. I haven't, you know? So I know that. So I know I play a little bit more of a laid back role. Sometimes in some cases, even more so of a support role, right? So in that case, I might play a little Lifeline. I've been playing a lot of Mirage lately because I actually feel like Mirage is multifaceted and a lot of y'all sleep on him. I'm about to wake y'all up. But anywho, I play a lot of, you know, Loba, you know, so I can go ahead and get heals using the Black Market Boutique, things of that nature, just so I can provide an extra layer of support for my teammates, but also I have some form of mobility and I can provide some form of offense as well. So when I'm playing Lifeline, that's typically when I am playing more so of a support role. I grab that G7, the 30-30, whatever. I kind of sit back, you know, peek shot some cats, try to lay some damage while my homies go in with Wraith and Pathfinder and clean them up. You know, when I'm playing Mirage, I can hold my own, so I can get a little bit more aggressive. If a teammate gets knocked, I can get up behind cover, go ahead, get that stealth res off. You see what I'm saying? If I'm playing Loba, like I said, drop the Black Market Boutique, provide heals for everybody, you name it, you know? So ultimately, you have to learn your role. You have to learn what you are best at. And by now, you should know what you're best at. Actually, no, I rescind that statement. If you are new to Apex, and especially new to arenas, you probably don't know what that role is, and that's okay. Just learn it over time, continue playing the game, see what you naturally gravitate to, if you naturally avoid conflict, if you naturally run into conflict, if you naturally play back, if you naturally play forward. As you learn those things, you will learn what your role is. Trust and believe that. Kind of piggybacking off of learning your role, you have to learn your teammates as well. Now, this depends on several things, right? If you're a 3-stacking, right, and it's you and your 2 homies, you should know your 2 homies unless it's your first time playing with them. Then, of course, you got to communicate with them. Hey, man, how you usually play? You usually like flying people? You like stand back? What you like to do, man? What you like to do? You know, and just base it off of that. Because, again, you don't want to have 3 people with a support mindset on your team. That is trouble. Like, that just don't work. You guys just sit back. Then you guys get held at the ring, and you guys will lose 3-0. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. And at the same time, you don't really want 3 aggressive mindsets, because if you guys are flying in and you're flying in against an experienced team, they're going to catch y'all at the door every single time and y'all going to get put in the ground. Again, another 3-0 scenario. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be able to learn your teammates and play based off of your teammates, okay? I know this is a lot more difficult when we're talking solo queuing, a lot more difficult, especially when we're playing arenas, but you still have to use that first round, and in some cases, those first 2 rounds, to learn your teammates. Okay, I see this guy just like sitting back with a sentinel and sniping. Let me play a little bit more aggressive. I know I'm a little bit more of a support character, but hey, we gonna make it work. I'm gonna play Loba aggressively. I'm gonna play Lifeline a little bit more aggressively, and I'm gonna play off of my other teammate that likes to play aggressive as well. So if he gets knocked, I can go ahead, stick the dock drone in him, get him back up, and lay suppressive fire. You see what I'm saying? Learning how to play off of your teammates is pivotal for the W. If you don't learn and you just continue playing your own way, you might be in trouble. You might be in trouble. There are some cases where it does work out, but man, it's far and few between. Trust and believe that. So again, you have to learn your teammates. You have to learn how to play based off of your teammates. You have to learn how to buy based off of your teammates as well. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn, okay, do I need to buy more of this ability to help my teammates get out of trouble? You know what I'm saying? If you're playing Wraith and you know you have 2 very aggressive teammates, shoot, I might need to buy Portal every round just to get them out of sticky situations. You see what I'm saying? Learn those things and your chance of winning round after round, match after match will go through the roof. And the last thing I want to touch on in terms of learning is we got to learn the maps. Now, as you first jump into arenas, and if you're playing against experienced people, especially people that played a lot of the BR when it comes to maps like Artillery and the other maps that are POIs in the BR, it's going to be tough. I will be openly honest with you, it will be tough because they will know positioning. Like on Artillery, when I'm playing against an experienced group, they know Artillery like the back of their hand, like it's nothing to them, right? So I have to play accordingly based off of that. But when we're talking Phase Runner, we're talking Party Crasher, maps like that are more so original, you have to learn the map. You have to learn the best position. You have to learn the best cover. You have to learn the best rotations. You have to learn the best flanks. You have to learn it all. And how do you learn that? Trial and error. Try a flank. If you get spotted right away and get team shotted, that flank probably is not good. Try cover. If you have a nasty head glitch on something and you can go ahead and crack people up left and right by sniping, G7, 30-30, flatline, R301, Spitfire, whatever, rock that out. Okay, I found a great cover position. We could play off this position right here. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Again, trial and error will be your best teacher when it comes to learning the maps. But pay attention to every little nook and cranny, because every single nook and cranny could give you that split second that you need to get that bat off, get that Phoenix kit off, get that reload going on to be able to clutch around. Incredibly important. Incredibly. And folks, that does it. Arena's Guide for Beginners. If you all didn't hear anything I said, I mean anything, then just please take this one thing away, and that's this. Learn from every single gunfight, learn from every single round, learn from every single match. Learn positioning, learn playing off your teammates, learn the maps, learn the weapons, learn your econ, learn it all. Pay attention to everything and pick at least one thing you could have done better around, at least one thing you could have done better a match. And if you do that, and if you say, man, I really didn't need to upgrade that vault to level 3, I could have saved it, right? I could have saved some money, just left the vault at level 2, right? The blue. Got an extra battery. If I had that extra battery, man, I would have won that clutch. You know what I'm saying? Learn from those situations. Man, if I didn't get trapped in that corner, if I learned how to rotate out of there, I would have been all right, man. I would have got him. I know I would have got him. You know what I'm saying? If you take the time to learn, then you will improve no matter what. Unless your aim is trash like mine, then you might be stuck. But hey, that's another video for another day. It's been your boy Cray. I am signing out, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, we are out.